Hi, my name's Jay Linden and I've been an artist for the last 20 years. I started out doing printmaking and I was doing whimsical fairy tale etchings and I did that for 13 years. And then when I moved to Auckland, I just had this thirst for colour. I was really hungry for colour, and this is after a holiday in Samoa where we've been looking at the turquoise sea and it felt so nourishing. Just looking at that colour. So I taught myself oil painting, and I love oil painting because the colours are so divine. They are luminous and velvety and rich, and the painting process is this creamy feel to it. It's the texture when you're actually painting, it feels creamy. It's really lovely, and you can do lovely blending because the oils don't dry so quickly, unlike acrylic. So I fell in love with oil painting, I think the very first time I put brush to painting. And I don't like canvases, so I always paint on a flat surface that doesn't move. So I paint on either wooden panels or mat board. And I've done various types of painting. So I started out flowing from the etchings. I was doing more of a mystical fairy tale series with the guardian wolf. And then my dear pussycat died, and I was very, very sad, and I couldn't really seem to get over the grief. And I'd always heard that channeling grief into something creative really helped, so I thought I'd paint my cat. And so it took me a long, long time to paint this. I was painting layer after layer after layer because I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never painted anything realistically before. So I was really learning how to do it, and it did help enormously. So I did two paintings of him. And then after that, I realised I could do realism. And I love birds, and I've always taken photographs of birds. So I started to do that. And we have kingfishers that come to our garden. They live nearby and they sit in our plum trees and eat the praying mantis and the black beetles. And they will sit there and pose, and so I have hundreds of photographs of kingfishers. And I wait until I get a really good one where the kingfisher is looking at me and the light is great, the posture is great, and there's this gleam in the eye, and there's this real feeling of connection. So when you paint it, it really looks like the kingfisher is looking at the audience, that whoever's looking at that painting. And those are the ones that I use. And I love it. I love doing kind of really exotic birds like the heron, but I also like to do the sparrow because so often we overlook our birds, especially the more common ones, and yet a bird like a sparrow has amazing markings. And so to bring that out, that's what I try to do with my paintings. I try to bring out the beauty of the bird, the character of the bird, the personality. So with this Kia here, Kias have I think they have the most personality of all of the bird world. And this was a Kia that was standing on the top of our car near Milford Sound. And we were like 2 feet away from him. And he, again, another juvenile. You can tell by this colour on the beak. And he just had the most cheekiest look in his eye. And I'm still working on it, but I'm loving painting it because there's this real feeling of life force and joy. And it's wonderful fun to just bring out all those colours. I couldn't live somewhere where I wasn't surrounded by nature. I couldn't bear it. I just love every morning I sit on the deck and have breakfast, well, apart from when it's pouring with rain, and listen to the bird song. And I feed the birds. Tuis come, and wax eyes and blackbirds, and we have kingfishers in the garden. We're surrounded by birds, and to me that is, I don't know, that's the kind of richness of life. What makes life worth living, just to be in this connection with nature and to be surrounded by beauty. And the changing variety of nature from day to day and season to season is so nourishing. And that's what my work is about. It's about the beauty I see in nature and wanting to share that with other people and actually allow other people to have that in their living room.
Yeah.
Well, my studio is a little small for me to be actually doing any work when they come, and generally I kind of have a steady stream of visitors throughout the day, so I'm mostly talking to people and they're asking me lots of questions about oil painting and the techniques I use and the materials I use, so they can certainly see the work that I've done and some work in progress. And I also have limited edition G-clay prints for sale too. And they can see I love visiting other artist studios. There's something wonderful about it. I think the energy of the creative work that's done there and just all of the bits and pieces, it's very inspiring. And it's set in a beautiful garden, so they can get that too.
Yeah.